Hey everyone, welcome to the channel Magical Medicine. In this, we'll be discussing or trying our best to memorize the difference between ankylosing spondylitis and diffuse idiopathic skeletal hyperostosis. So yeah, let's get started with this, and both will be, we both will make a combination of questions or questions which can be asked either in orthopedics or the radiology. So first of all, we need to have a basic idea that how we can differentiate between these two things, and also individually we should know that whenever we get questions, how can we answer them right. So yeah, this diffuse idiopathic skeletal hyperostosis, that is DISH. So we will now say DISH only. DISH and ankylosing spondylitis, that is AS, right? So DISH. So first of all, about the etiology, the DISH is idiopathic, right? So just a common sense, it is idiopathic, or if we don't have that sort of sense, then it's like DISH. From I we can memorize it's idiopathic. And A, say AS as ankylosing spondylitis, and A for ankylosing, and A for autoimmune. So that is autoimmune, there is role of some antibodies and this and that thing. Next is age group. DISH, whatever you give will be eaten by the younger peoples, but oldies are very much particular about dishes. They have, when they grow old, they become very choosy. They don't like this, they don't like that, they like that particular thing. So we can memorize that age group in the dishes, older patients, middle-aged people. And in the ankylosing spondylitis is an autoimmune, and it will be coming like at early ages, so that is in the younger patients. This is also done. Coming to HLA, so basically, which is a marker for the autoimmune disorder. So basically, ankylosing spondylitis, it has strong association with HLA B27, and there won't be any such evidence in the case of DISH. Lab investigations, in the case of DISH, lab investigations are non-specific and they are inconclusive, and in the case of AS, there will be high CSR, ESR, so that's gonna get higher. We can understand from the young patients, they're very energetic and they are very enthusiastic, they're very high. So therefore the CSR and ESR and CRP, that is and ESR, so they will be high in this. But in the case of the DISH, these things will be inconclusive and non-specific. Simple will learn the young enthusiastic people. So these markers of infections will be high. That is ESR will be high, CRP, C-reactive proteins will also be high, right? Next is syndesmophytes. In the DISH, it's non-marginal, and in AS, it's marginal. Okay. If you are young, you will try to choose the margin so that you get apart. You want to look different. You're young, and you want to be at the margins because you want to stand out of the rest of the crowd. That's why it's marginal. Simple. This logic, away from logic towards the magic, will end up memorizing these things little easily. Otherwise, we can go into detail and logics too, but things have to be memorized sometimes. And radiograph. Okay, older generations who have used the candles and lamps, not the new generations. So therefore, DISH radiograph will have a flowing candle wax. In the AS, in the ankylosing spondylitis, there will be bamboo spine. Spines are strong. Spines mean strong. Bamboo trees are also very tall, stand tall. So you are very erect, you're strong when you're young. That is ankylosing spondylitis. Disc space. In the DISH, there is a preservation of disc space. So that's very good for all these. One point which is very good. But the disc space is preserved. But in ankylosing spondylitis, and since there is inflammation, since there is lots of problems with that, so in that the cervical spines will show ossifications of disc space, that is in cervical spines. So there will be ossifications. So that's the problem. SI joints involvement. There will be no involvement in DISH and bilateral sacroiliac joints. We're talking about the sacroiliac joints. There will be no involvement in the DISH, in the diffuse idiopathic skeletal hyperostosis. But in the case of ankylosing spondylitis, it is a kind of severe disease, because in that we had a, this space ossification, and also bilateral sacroiliitis, means not always the young can have the front, so therefore these two big things happened in AS. So bilateral sacroiliitis is also happening. And then associated diseases in the dish is definitely elderly, middle age, obesity, diabetes mellitus, and hypervitaminosis A. That is a different thing we have to learn. Hypervitaminosis A, because in the middle age and old age there is a problem of what these backs, hypermetropia. So from there we can get a clue, might be they started eating too much of vitamin A and they test for hypervitamin. This is just a logic. Sorry, this is not a logic. It's just a magical way or stories thing to learn it. So obesity, diabetes mellitus, and hypervitaminosis A in dish, but in ankylosing spondylitis, some associated diseases will be autoimmune conditions. That's a common sense, like iritis, uveitis, ulcerative colitis, right? So these are the inflammatory conditions. I guess all over we have got an idea about autoimmunes, which markers were raised, which will be associated with this, and yeah, that's it. And sacroiliac joints, bamboo spine, flowing candle wax. So these keywords should be somewhere in the map, and we have to take it inside, in that way. Anyway, so this is all about the difference between ankylosing spondylitis and diffuse idiopathic skeletal hyperostosis. See you in the next video. Bye bye.